everybody. This is Rolanda Sumner, CEO and founder of Life After Service Transitional Coaching and the creator of Business Launch Prep School. And today I am so excited to have my former client and my friend, Yeside Davis. She is the CEO of Get Your Bliss or Get Your Bliss. And she is BLPS's preferred vendor for all things bio. So, and she's going to share with you other things that she does for her clients, including intimacy. She's an intimacy doula, so you want to stay tuned. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. Hey.
Hi.
All right. So talk to me about who you are. Let the people know who you are, what you do, and yeah, let's get this thing rolling.
Okay, well, I'm Yeside Davis. I'm an intimacy doula here in East Texas, but my business is virtual. And I help guide women of faith into an improved sexual and spiritual life through my signature programs, my readings, and my one-on-ones. That's what I do.
And tell us about your history with editing. You're our preferred vendor for creating bios. So talk to us about editing and how you got into it and about your award-winning book that you helped someone write.
Oh my goodness. I don't talk about that much. So I'm glad you asked. But with the editing, it started in 2016, like officially. I had a friend who sent me her book and she's like, can you just take a look at it? She didn't know that I was a writer or anything. I was just a friend that she knew. And it was 19 pages of a Google Doc, and it ended up being turned into about a 100-page book, an actual book. And that's how it started, because I wasn't looking to become an editor. I was just somebody who likes to write in my spare time. And that particular book was my first project, and it did become an Amazon #1 bestseller. And I also write my own things. I'm an erotica writer. And I just have a way with words. People tell me I'm a wordsmith, so
She
that's how I
is.
get into editing.
She is. While we were going through BLPS, she's part of the pilot. You know, we would go to her on how to phrase certain things. She's just so good at words. She still looks, when I let her, because a lot of times I forget or I don't want to bother her. But when I send her items, you could tell the difference between like when she looked at it and when I just threw it out there. But she's so good at words. She's just got a way with words. And that's why I asked her to be a preferred vendor for bios, because, you know, she could take a lame bio and just make it look beautiful and attractive. And everybody's like, oh, I want to meet you.
Oh my goodness.
So
you're making me blush.
Talk to us about things we ought to know about bios. If we're like, look, I'm going to write it myself, what should we include? And how should we phrase it to make it attractive?
For long bios, of course, you want to say your name. And if you have like, I had one client, she goes by Coach and then like a shorter version of her name, like a nickname. So you want to put that in there, what you want people to call you. You also want to put educational background that helps you in your work. You want to add something quirky about yourself. Like I like to use the phrase razzle dazzle, you know, so I'll throw in, oh, and by the way, I also do this for a little razzle dazzle. Because you want it to be personal and professional at the same time, if that makes sense. And you definitely want to put in the accolades. How far into your family life you want to go is up to you. Some people are more private than others, so I always say that's optional. Some people want to say that they're married and they have X number of kids, and some people just want to say, I live in Texas or whatever. So I really just have a consult with someone and we go through that. But if you're doing it on your own, you can always look at bios of people you like and who you follow. and that can help you as well. For short bios, it depends on what platform you're using, which a lot of people are using Instagram as their main social media platform. And those bios need to be really short, like one sentence, and then a few, like, then all your links to your website and LinkedIn and all the other platforms that you use. But for Instagram, very short is best, because Instagram is moving to put the human back into social media, so that they're moving toward becoming more personal. So that's where you really want to have fun in your one sentence, like sum you up in a sentence, which I can help you with.
Yes, you can. How many words should a short and a long bio have? About how many words? Like, I'm thinking you don't want to have pages and pages and pages. You don't want to have a CV for a bio. So what is
for a long bio? 200 to 250 is good. For a short bio, I mean, you can take up all the space that Instagram offers, which I believe is, I think 150, but I looked at a lot of bios and they're rarely that long. So the last Instagram bio I did for someone, I think it was maybe 15 words, and that was without her links.
Okay.
So you want to leave room for that, because those count as words.
So
a lot of times when people have to click see more, they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do it. So Jay is a BLPS student, and she's a client of Yeside's, and she left some words. She said, definitely great with words. They're working together right now. They're in the portion of the course where you're going to need to start building your bios and your visual brand. And Yeside is working with her right now to get that built up. And she's really, really happy. She's really happy. Thank you, Jay, for commenting.
Thank you.
So now that we got the bios out the way, talk to me about being an intimacy doula, and talk to me about your programs like Nectar.
Oh, you know how much I love this work. I do. I'm not going to say I didn't think I would enjoy something as more than I enjoy writing. I think I just never allowed myself to love something a little more. And being an intimacy doula is that thing. It makes me so excited. But I can combine my love of writing with being a doula. But as an intimacy doula, I work with women, primarily women of color, and help them reconnect their spirituality and sexuality, because a lot of times they've been conditioned to separate those two, and they are meant to go together. And so I officially started doing that while in BLPS, because I was doing the right thing as an editor, which was good, and it felt okay. It's not that I don't love writing. It's just as my main thing, it just felt okay. And I love pleasure. I want it to feel great. I want to feel it all through my body and radiate out, right? And during a conversation that you and I had, it was just us being girls chatting. It wasn't a business conversation. Yeah. But you went into coach mode and recognized that light that came on for me. And I was just in there talking, doing what I love to do. But your coaching eyeballs saw, ma'am, that's your business right there. And that's really how it started.
And, new coaches, what you'll recognize in your clients is, especially the longer you coach them, is the energy that they have when they say certain things, especially if you're empathic or you're sensitive to other people's energy. You'll notice when their energy is down. You'll notice when they start to glow. And so she would talk about editing, and we knew she was a great editor. We knew she was a great writer, and she would talk about it, but it was okay. Like, and the way she presented it was like, okay. And we're like, we don't understand, like, why is she not grabbing onto this? And she started talking about, her desire to be an intimacy doula. And when she says she can talk about it all day, I kid you not, She has a group called Get Your Bliss, is it?
It's Get Your Bliss, yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's a hilarious group. It's for grown folk, mainly grown women. And she just lights up. And there's no question too obscene. There's no question that is off the table. She's very, very, I don't want to use the word appropriate because it makes it seem boring, but it's okay. She provides a safe space to talk about all of the nooks and crannies of intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, relational intimacy, all of the levels of intimacy and those nooks and crannies that you would not tell other people. She gives you that space. And I mean, yeah, when she was talking about in a group, I was like, like, okay, I think we got something here. So talk to us about Nectar.
Well, Nectar is my signature program, and it is built around self-intimacy, which is the core of what I do. Is helping people become intimate with themselves. And once you know yourself, then you develop your voice and you can speak to those things that are pleasurable to you and those things that are not. And you can speak that confidently because you know yourself and you're confident in yourself. So what I do in Nectar is help you get self-intimate before you get physically intimate with someone else. Because once you are good with yourself, then that trickles into your relationships and it'll change the dynamics.
Yes, that's true. And you guys, she's about to start a cohort. You don't want to miss out on the new cohort that's coming up. After this cohort, she's going to go up on her prices. So you want to go ahead and sign up for it. Tell us who the perfect person is for your Nectar program.
The perfect person is a woman who is ready to find her voice, get to know herself, and connect or find the connection between sexuality and spirituality. The perfect person is someone who is ready to follow her pleasure and be confident and okay with following her pleasure and not feel guilty about it. Someone who's ready for that change.
Okay. And what are the benefits? Like, what are the benefits of like going through? What are your clients going to get when they go through? I'm looking for some of your video reviews right now. So go ahead and talk to me. Your reviews.
Some of the benefits, for me as the person who put this together, one of the major benefits is being able to decipher what your beliefs are versus those beliefs that have been impressed upon you that you try to adopt as your own. Mm-hmm. Because breaking those things down is where the transformation really begins. That's the foundation. And I'm a foundation builder.
Yes.
That's my thing. The infrastructure, that's me. And then you put all the decorations on your building and everything, but I'm going to come through with that foundation and make sure it's solid. So that's what you're going to get when you go through Nectar. You're going to come out with a strong foundation in self-intimacy and what intimacy looks like for you and how to voice that so that your needs are met when you are moving through your different relationships, because it's not just romantic relationships that matter. We are in platonic relationships, and those need to be pleasurable to us too and meet our needs as well.
So Tyson Williams, he jumped on and said hello. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for giving her some support. So if you give me a second, we're going to share your video.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know.
I just thought of it right now. I was like, oh,
this
yeah,
is a surprise.
We got to do this. That's just like my computer lets me be great. So while it's deciding if it wants, oh, there it is, that it wants to cooperate. Okay, we're about to play. All right.
Hi. So I participated in the sector, and it was awesome. It was great. You work on self intimacy, and a lot of people don't really think of self intimacy. Um, and when people do, I think maybe some people think um, it has to be something obvious that you need to work on. Maybe that's not always the case. It could be something from your boyfriend. It could be something from your childhood. There may be something somewhere that has an impact on you. Okay, that you need to work on, and it's very important to do that. Self love is huge. Love yourself, the tangible part of you, and that part that's deep inside, like deep inside that part. Caress it, love it. Okay, love yourself, and that will flow out of you, and it will make all of your connections so much better. You know, with your spouse, your partner, or whoever you know have a connection with, and it'll help build that emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. Um, it's very important to work on that. And Nectar helped me with that. And there were exercises that we had to do, um, not physical exercises, but there were exercises that we had to do, and just inner work on themselves. And it feels good. It feels good once you work on that and you realize there may be some things that you need to work on. And once you do, and you love yourself, you completely love yourself. You embrace yourself, everything, all of you, inside, outside, all of you. It makes everything so much better in life in general.
I mean, she has so many more reviews on her page. And when you get off of here, see if you can bump them up so when people visit you, they can find your reviews. You guys, yeah, like she has several other clients. She did a cohort, what, 3, 4, 5 months ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And um, everybody walked out of her cohort just feeling renewed, rejuvenated. Some of their romantic relationships were enhanced. Tell us more about what your clients got out of out of Nectar.
I had one client who struggled with boundaries, which is one of the modules within the program. And so that was the big thing for her, especially when it came to boundaries in her business. Like she felt like she had to answer emails immediately, and she had to be just available all the time. She was bad at boundaries, and so that was a big thing that she learned within Nectar. I had another participant who um, she was struggling with just letting things go in her life, and that's a module where we is detox your life. We often think about detoxing our bodies, but you can detox your whole life. So we work on all that stuff because you want to get rid of things, the things that don't serve you, so you can make space for
Mhm.
the things that do, and make space to grow and all that good stuff. So I have clients who I also do intimacy guidance reading, and I have
Mhm.
clients who come um, every quarter to get their reading because they need like a blueprint
Mhm.
um, to keep them in their nectar flow. That's what I
Okay.
call it, nectar flow.
So on the professional end, and correct me if I'm wrong, I can only imagine if you are in line, if your intimacy in all areas is aligned, you will perform better at work. Am I wrong to assume so? Talk to me about that.
No, you're not wrong at all because, like I said, intimacy touches every facet. You know, sometimes you're at work and you're just a worker bee and you feel like you have no voice, and you know, maybe your supervisor is putting all of this stuff on you and you really want to say, I can't handle that, but you don't, you know, you feel you fear saying, hey, this is too much. But your nectar flow is about finding your voice and using it. Or if you are the business owner, like I said, one participant, she didn't have good boundaries within her business. But when she went through Nectar, she realized that she needed to have boundaries there because she didn't need to be um, always connected, because that didn't feel good to her. And if it didn't feel good to her, the business that she loved would turn into the business that she hated.
Yes, it would be a job. And you know what?
Yes.
That is so true. Listen, my BLPS students already know, like, I'm a big advocate in making the schedule that you want and sticking to it as best as you can. I'm a bit of a workaholic, so I like working all the time. But my like my office hours are Monday through Thursday. If it is not a active revenue generating activity, and I mean like I'm getting paid to do it on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, it doesn't happen. And so Yeside is definitely right. If you don't know how to create boundaries in your business, and you can create any boundary you want, it's your business, you're going to end up with a job and you're going to hate it. You're going to definitely hate it.
Yep.
So I wanted to bring up the professionalism part because we are partially on LinkedIn right now. And there might be some larger companies out there who are working with their employees and they feel like there might be some morale issues. The retention is low. There's something stuck. There's something not right with their staff. And having someone, an intimacy doula, come in to help your staff become more relationally intimate with each other, bringing that team together, congealing that morale, you know, can make a big difference. In the military, that's something we do on day one. Like, you don't have to like the people in your squad, but that's your family. Let somebody else talk about them, okay? That, you know, that's your family. We're all together. We're here for one mission. So if you have someone come in to bring everybody together and bring them on one accord, that is a type of intimacy. So don't be afraid to contact her at getyourbliss.today to say, hey, you know, I want to have a conversation with you so that I can learn how to bring my team together. You know, she's an adult and she's highly educated. She has a master's degree. So she understands not to bring, you know, physical intimacy in the workplace. You can have relational intimacy amongst a team and they can be in lockstep with each other and perform at a very high level. One last thing before we wrap up. Are there any other ways that our people or your people can find you?
I wanted to say one more thing about businesses. And that because they may be wondering what relational intimacy, what is that? You know, if you kind of break it down, if you develop emotional intimacy with your employees or whoever the group of people are, that's going to help morale, that's going to bring closeness. You have definitely intellectual intimacy. You know, are they thinking similarly? Are they able to connect and think outside the box together? Are they open to that kind of thing? So for businesses, the intellectual intimacy and emotional intimacy will be huge game changers. So I did want to say that.
And listen, if you're worried about her bringing the Nectar program to you, she can create a customized program for your team that is just right for what your team needs. So I'm going to put that in here, custom programs, because I know that's something you do.
It is. I'll just wake up like, hey, you know, and then I'll call you like, okay, now help me put it all together, because I can do the foundation. Help me put it together. But yeah, I definitely can do custom.
Make a custom corporate program. Before we go, tell us are there any closing notes that you might have?
Yes, I want to answer your question about how to reach me. The best way to reach me, because I like intimate things, I still like direct messages. I have my boundaries with them, but I love direct messages. It makes me feel close to the people that I'm going to potentially work with, and it helps me build relationships. But you can find me on Instagram at Get Your Bliss. And you can send me messages there. And then you can follow me on Facebook, Yeside Davis, my name. So the best way is hit the DMs or slide into the DMs. I just like the word slide. I'm so slide in the DMs.
Y'all heard her slide into her DMs at Get Your Bliss on Instagram or Yeside Davis on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and close us out with the fact that in Business Launch Prep School, when you start your new coaching practice, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be afraid, and you're going to want to put yourself in everybody else's box. You're going to want to conform to everyone else's business model, because that's what you're taught. Like, choose an existing business model and then use that. And I'm going to tell you 110% that's not what we do here. What we do is we sit down and we figure out what you really want and who you really are. And then, and only then, will we start to develop your business model. Then and only then when we start talking about your target audience and creating a signature program and pricing your signature program appropriately. We do not, I don't encourage y'all to start below $2,000. However, I do give you space to do what you want. So if you're like, I'm not ready, guess what? We're going to still work on wealth consciousness, and I'm going to support you while you do what you want. So if you are a new coach and you know that you cannot do this by yourself, and you know that you need help so that you can get through that startup phase easier and you can make money sooner, check out tinyurl.com/BLPS 2021. Go there and learn what Business Launch Prep School is all about and how I can help you. And that will be all for today. I'm so excited that you came, Yeside.
Thanks for having me.
We got to get our friend on. We got to get everybody else on. So you guys have a good day.